Okay, so I'm going to be installing Ditra Heat. This is the uncoupling mat with the, see the knobs? The wire goes in between these knobs. That's shown in this diagram here, but you're going to see me do it. The wire, which you're going to open up in a minute, and this is the touchscreen programmable thermostat, and the three together make up an electric heated floor. This Ditra mat still maintains the uncoupling and all the other things that the regular Ditra has, except it incorporates a space for the wire in the mat so that you have a flat surface to tile over without having to put any self-levelers or make adjustments of any kind. Just snake the wire into the mat and tile it. So this is it, and this is what I'm going to be installing. Because I'm going over OSB here, I'm going to install the mat with a polymer modified thin set. Okay, so you just use a utility knife to cut it. I'm going to cut the rest of this in. But you want these pucks to line up, that way the wire, these pucks here, that way the wire goes straight through and it doesn't have to jog. Okay, so I'm going to roll it back, roll these back. Wipe it down with a damp sponge. What that does, it saves dust off and gives it plywood a drink. Exactly all it needs. Quarter-inch square notch trowel. First I'm going to go with the flat side to key it in, and then I'm going to flip it and use it on the side.
If you're going over plywood, you want to use a modified thin set to install the mat onto the plywood. The kind of thin set you would use, look for A118.11 or A118.15. They're the two modified versions of thin set that you can use to install the Ditra mat on a wood subfloor. If you're going over a concrete subfloor, then any thin set will work. You want to get a quality thin set, but any thin set will work.
Okay, now I'm going to roll it back, and I smooth it in with an old wooden trowel. So I'll do the rest of it. So this is the wire. This one's 240 volts. Covers 85.3 square feet. Put the wire in the pucks there. You would have to do every three pucks, 1, 2, 3. But now you have the option of doing 2, 3 alternating spacing. So you could do 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 spaces, then 3 spaces, then 2 spaces, then 3 spaces. So alternating 2, 3 spaces. It just gives some more heat output. The same wire, you can use the same wire to do either spacing. Now the system is composed of 3 parts: the Ditra mat, the thermostat, and the wire itself. You get 2 sensor wires. You only need one, but you install both so you have a backup, and then you and then you only connect the thermostat's going over here, so you only connect one of the sensor wires and the other one is as a backup. So in the newer version you only need a multimeter, but if you have a mega ohm meter, that will give you 5 years extra warranty. So you don't have to have that, you don't have to test it with that, but if you do test it with that, you get more warranty. This is the only meter that you need, a multimeter, to test the wire and record all the results. So we have two sensor wires. We have the directions. I can put this aside. Now, all connections here, this has to be done by a licensed electrician. So, let's unwrap this and test it. There's a label on here, and it tells you the ohms that we need to test for, and it has to be within 10% of this number. We're going to test that in a second. It's the same thing that's on the wire, so you keep these. It's what we need to fill out. Okay, so got the number here and put it over here. Factory value is 17.7 ohms, and I put that there. And we're going to test the wire. We're going to test the wire 3 times. Once when we take it out of the box. Once after we get it in the mat here over here. And the 3rd time after the tile's installed. So let's test this right now and see what the ohms are. If it matches this, it has to be within 10% of 17.7. So I got the alligator clips connected to the wires, one to one side, one to the other. Use alligator clips if you can, it makes your life a lot easier. So I'm going to put this, so it's already at 200 ohms. And it's 17.9, 17.8, 17. So that's within 10% of the factory value of 17.7. So this wire is good. So that's that test. 17.8 ohms. So that's the conductor resistance test. Now we're going to do the conductor and ground. So I'm going to set this to the alarm. It's going to make a sound if you touch these together. You're going to put one wire on one lead, and then we're going to put the other on the ground wire. And so that should say I or OL. It says I, and it actually tells you right here I or O, infinity or overload. So that test is a pass also. So I'm going to put I. These two tests are the only two required tests. This one here is you need a mega ohm meter to do this test, and it's not actually required, but you get extra warranty if you do it. So I'm going to actually do it. Okay, so this is the mega ohm meter. Once again, alligator clips. So you're going to put one of the alligator clips on the lead, and you're going to put the other one on the ground wire. I'm going to set these to 1000 volts, and test. You want it to go over 1,000. So this test is good. The megalometer test is good. So you don't want to touch these wires because that sends 1,000 volts through the wires, so you don't want to touch them as it's discharging. So it says it right here, equal to or greater than 1 gigaohm, and it passed that. As you saw, it was 1,800 and whatever. So those two tests are done. So now we got to test these. Now, if these two have been in different, because these are sensors, so it measures the temperature. So if you kept one in the truck and one was in the house, they're going to be different temperatures. They're going to have different readings. Now these have been sitting here for over an hour, so they should be more or less at the same temperature, but we'll see. So the temperature in here is about 70 degrees in here. So once again, connect one to one side, one to the other. The temperature, as I said, is about 70 degrees. So you got some temperature ranges here. So we're between this range here, 68 and 77. So it should be somewhere between 12 and 10. So you got them connected. Gonna put this on 20K. And we're at 11.8. So 11.8. So that's about right. Test the other one. And that's about the same. Okay, so I recorded all those values. The testing is done for now. We can put the wire in the mat and then we'll test it again. This is the cold lead. This part here, this black part. And that there is here is the cold splice. This has to be buried in under the tile in the thin set, and this is the wire that goes in the mat, and this is the wire that goes up the wall. So the rule is you have to stay 3 inches away from a wall, at least. I'm staying 6 inches away. I'll tell you why in a second. Over here there's a vanity. This is the tub area. The tub is actually going to go to this mark here. So I'm staying 3 inches away from that. You can't put wire under a fixed object where there's no airflow. And let's just say this square right here was your vent in the floor. Then you would stay 8 inches away all the way around from that. You have to be a distance of 8 inches away. If you have a wall, like a radiator, if you had a radiator along that wall, you would stay 8 inches away from that too. So the reason that I'm staying 6 inches away is to give me extra room to put excess wire if I have it. Now that wire there will cover 64 square feet on a 3 puck spacing, and it'll cover 54 square feet on a 3-2 spacing. This is the reason why I leave the 6 inches, just in case you're running long on the wire. That gives you another run all the way around that you can do to eat up that wire. So let's cut in this lead and get it ready. So this is the cold splice from the cold to the hot. This has to be buried under the tile. This goes up the wall. All the rest of this goes under the tile. So I snaked the wire up through the conduit, and so I'm going to cut this area. To push the wire in, you can either use your fingers like that, but use something plastic. It could be a rubber float, it could be a wooden trowel, it could be a plastic trowel, and just push it in. Okay, so this is the 2-3 spacing. So I got 2, 3. So 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. You can't do 2, 2, and you definitely can't do 1, 1. So always got to, you can do 3, 3 if you want, or you can do 3, 2. You can't do 2, 2, 2, and you definitely can't do 1, 2, and absolutely not 1, 1. The wire will overheat. So it's either 3, 2 spacing or 3, 3 spacing, and in the book it'll have the square footage that'll cover for each wire, what the square footage it will cover in each configuration. So if you make a mistake, just pull it right up and redo it. So anyway, you get the idea. Okay, so the wire's all down. I'm going to test again. The sensor wires. Put in the sensor wires, one here, but it has to be at least a foot in. So both of them are in, and but you're only going to connect one. We snaked it through the wall, and the wire and the sensors, they actually can all go through the same conduit. They don't have to be separated. It used to be that they would say that to separate them, but that's not the case anymore. So it can go through the same conduit. Okay, so I'm gonna test it a second time. Okay, so after the installation of the floor tile is complete, test for the third time, but do not put the heating system into service for at least 10 days.